Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. You are eager to explore all the amazing places. Before you start, subscribe to the channel and let's go together to discover the canyons in Italy. When we think of canyons, the American Grand Canyons immediately come to mind. But in the beautiful Italian country, there are unexpected glimpses, authentic jewels of Italy, that silently cross the country from north to south. We have drawn up a ranking. 10th place, Col di Celano, Abruzzo, a location with a mystical charm, located in the Siront-Velino Regional Natural Park. This excursion is accessible and immersed in a truly suggestive environment. Let's set off together to discover an iconic point, the Lover's Fountain. Once you reach the main square, the path on the left leads through a small wood to the actual entrance to the gorge. The initial part of the route is more challenging, but after that the path becomes mostly flat. The rocky walls of the gorge reach 200 meters at the highest points. While in the narrowest sections the width varies between 3 and 6 meters, creating spectacular natural corridors. In the area we recommend tasting the potato gnocchi, or the pappardelle with chestnut flour and the unmissable sisarki soup. 9th place, Orito di Pratis, Friuli Venezia. The route is a loop, but there is also a small additional section. These caves have been inhabited since the Paleolithic, and it is thought that Neanderthal man lived there. The ground is slippery, so you have to be careful. The first cave is full of information boards, and there are also toilets. We have arrived at the sign that guides us towards the ravine. It is the result of a long work of the torrent that, over the centuries, has dug and shaped these formations. Here, we also find a staircase of 200 steps. What an effect, it is truly spectacular. The shiny green of the dew on the plants is fantastic. The beauty of this place is indescribable. This is the second cave. We recommend not to come in flip-flops, and be careful because some parts are slippery. Now we are back, going up the path. We arrive at the Rio Mallet, a tributary of the Torrente Cosa. Beautiful. We pass another panoramic point, we have climbed up from the ravine and now we follow the sign to visit the Grotta della Madonna, a place with an interesting history. Also known as the Green Grotto, since initially the walls were covered with ivy, creating a green light effect. Then, they changed the lighting to enhance the natural beauty of the rock. A curious aspect of this cave is that, on Christmas night at midnight, a mass is celebrated. It would be really fascinating to be there. Now choose between the picnic area for a snack or trattorias or restaurants. You will appreciate the porcini or onion soups, then the crepes. The donkey goulash or pork fillets with vodka are a must. This cave is also called Andro Oscuro because it is the only cave in the complex where natural light never enters. You can feel the humidity of the environment and the temperature is lower. Leaving the cave, we still see some ivy, perhaps the one that once covered the entrance. 8th place, Lame Ross del Lago di Fiastra, Marche, ready for a trek to the Lame Ross. Our route starts right in front of the lake. Tips to protect the Lame Ross, such as walking at least 3 meters away from the walls, to avoid any stones or fragments from falling. The landscape is a succession of incredibly different scenarios, and as soon as we arrive at this panoramic point, we immediately notice it. Don't go down, but go up for about 10 minutes. You'll feel out of breath. It's not exactly a walk in the park, but the effort is worth it. After a climb on a gravel stretch, we finally arrive at our destination. We are in the Monte Sibillini National Park, a protected natural area of great beauty. And now here we are at the Lame Ross, with their spectacular landscape of rock formations. Let's dispel a myth, this route is not suitable for everyone. Those who are not physically fit could find it difficult. Furthermore, since you will not find bars or refreshment points along the way, we recommend that you bring something to eat and drink with you, because you may need it during the journey. We return to the lake for a well-deserved lunch break. A refreshing stop in a quiet place, where we can relax and enjoy a well-deserved rest. Try the roast lamb, guinea fowl, braised wild boar, or peasant-style tripe. 7th place, Orito di Botri, Tuscany. We are in Garfanana. It is a natural canyon and a protected reserve. To access it is necessary to book. How beautiful is the Devil's Bridge? You arrive at the oasis of Orito di Batri. Here is the ticket office. You have to book the ticket by phone. Then you have to pick up the helmet at the restaurant. It costs €5, or you can bring it from home. From there, the first narrowing, called Guadina, should be about half an hour from the starting point. Attention, it's cold. Now let's get into the water with our shoes on for the second stage. It takes about an hour and a half to go up. Now maybe we'll speed up a bit to go back. It closes at 6. You have to calculate at least 3 hours if you go slowly. Look for restaurants or trattorias in the area and try the tortelli or ravioli made in various flavors. The beef or veal slices are exceptional. 6th place, Alcantara Gorges, Sicily Municipal Entrance. From here you can start to glimpse the river. To go down you can choose between the elevator or the stairs. We opted for the stairs. Here are the first visible walls along the path. I recommend arriving early in the morning, at opening time, to avoid the crowds, because this place is often very busy. In the area we recommend the tagliatelle with wild boar, and the beef steaks. Remember, if you go with a lot of people, arm yourself with patience because the waiting times are long in almost all the establishments. We finally enter the Alcantara Gorges. This is the river and from there you access it. They told me that the water is very cold. Let's see right away. Yes, the water is frozen. At this time of year, there shouldn't be much water because it hasn't rained in a long time in this area. Let's go ahead to see what the situation is. Here are the first lava walls of this spectacular gorge. We arrived from that point, and now we continue against the current. Look at the peculiarity of the lava rocks, a unique spectacle. It is really exciting even to be able to touch them. Look at this huge lava ceiling, really impressive. Here the air starts to get cooler, but the charm of the place is unmatched. A unique place in the world, to live and admire. You absolutely have to taste the excellent cheeses, pecorino and provolone. Quality agricultural products from citrus fruits to cherries, medlars, walnuts. 5th place, Gol di Uriezzo, Piedmont. When you enter you ask yourself, how is it possible that a place like this, so close, exists and I have never heard of it? The fact that there was no one around made me realize that I am not the only one who ignores and neglects these wonderful places. There are so many places around me that I still have to discover, explore and get to know, and I want to seize every single opportunity. These include agnolotte filled with beef, sausage, cabbage and truffle. Veal is the basis of many traditional second courses, the famous Marengo chicken with mushrooms, and gianduiati for dessert. 4th place, Gola di Garopu, Sardinia in front of us. At this moment, we are in the area called Costa Solana, a ridge that on one side overlooks the Cogiola di Luna towards the sea. While on the other hand it has a series of watersheds that flow into the Fluminedu, which in turn will become Su Garotu. That plateau over there is called Campos Sparros, while from that side we see Gennargentu, right? Oh yes, that's the one up there. To orient ourselves better, this is the summit of Caracai, while that peak over there is Punta Cusador, with the sharper and lower crest just below. Now, where are we going? We will go down to the gorge that you can see below. The path will follow a watershed until it enters Su Garotu. We have about 500 meters of altitude difference and a half hour of walking ahead of us. Alright, let's go. Phone tightly held while you take the photo. You know, in Sassari dialect, nol carraro means a fog and heart, even if the Sardinian language changes from area to area, even from kilometer to kilometer. The descent here is quite steep and tests your knees, menisci and ankles, but look at the spectacle. Are you a traveler or a tourist? This is the difference. Never do things too organized, you have to explore, get your hands dirty, live the adventure. And then finally a beer at the bar. The mutton stew and the typical cheeses are a must. 3rd place, Orito di Bolano, Lombardy. Located on the eastern shore of Lake Como, we visited the famous Orito di Bolano. After finding a parking lot, luckily free, we passed in front of the former Cotonificio Cantoni. This factory was for a long time the most important of the Italian cotton production. Continuing, we encountered the Church of Saints Nazaro and Celso, recognized as a national monument. The structure, in late Romanesque style, has been extensively restored over time. From there, via a small climb, you reach the entrance to the Orito di Bolano, where the suggestive Casa del Diavolo is located, a 4-story hexagonal tower with an irregular plan. The origin and function of the tower are shrouded in mystery, mentioned for the first time in the Rosa Vermiglia. It is known that it had already existed for centuries, and in the 18th century it housed a fossil museum. The Orito di Bolano, a natural gorge formed 15 million years ago, is the result of the erosion of the waters of the Pioverna torrent, which dug a deep furrow in the valley floor, from Tacchino to Lario. Second place, Canyon Rio Sas, Trentino Val di Non, known as the Valley of Apples and the Valley of Castles, is also known as the Valley of Canyons, an aspect that often surprises visitors. The region offers a variety of canyons, each with unique characteristics. Some can be explored by kayak starting from Lake Santa Justina, others can be explored on foot. Such as the famous canyon that connects the town of San Zeno to the sanctuary of San Remedio, through an old canal dug into the mountain. There are also canyons accessible via walkways or guided tours. Among these, the Canyon Rio Sas, located in the hamlet of Fondo, now part of the municipality of Borgo di Anonia, is one of the most particular. This path, present for over 20 years, literally divides the town of Fondo in two. Starting this year, thanks to an innovative project promoted by the Cooperativa Smeraldo, it is possible to visit it also at night, thanks to a LED lighting system that creates a suggestive and completely new atmosphere. A one-of-a-kind experience, the night tour offers a different perspective than the daytime visits. The water and rocks are highlighted by colored lights, which change hue every year, making each visit a different experience. This project, born to further enhance the canyon and attract residents and tourists, has already received great enthusiasm among visitors, fascinated by the beauty of the illuminated place. A jewel of the Val di Non, this canyon, entirely carved by water over millions of years, is an extraordinary example of a water canyon. Just think that the water digs 1 kilometer a year, a process that took over 5 million years to shape this unique gorge. Let yourself be conquered by the magic of this hidden corner of Trentino. Among the second courses, paired with a good pint of beer, you can taste the smoked or traditional ribs, the shins, the carne salata and the mixed grills. First place, Gravina di La Terza Tarento. We take this path, which will lead us to the end, where from here we can already see a footbridge. However, a sign informs us that it is not accessible. But don't worry, we can easily deviate along a small parallel path. Look at that panoramic view. Just 300 meters from the beginning of the path, there is a truly spectacular ravine, with a cave to visit. How wonderful! Now we will take a drone tour to show you this incredible landscape. The friends arrive via a path that descends from above. It is not particularly difficult, you just need to know how to walk on stones. There is no great difference in height and you arrive directly at the cave, a real spectacle. In front of us, a breathtaking panorama. A view not to be missed. But I always recommend that you rely on an expert guide who will tell you the history of these fascinating caves, which certainly hide secrets and curiosities. Continuing, we come across the second path, with another incredible viewpoint, and immediately after the third path. We will continue on this path and see where it takes us. During the walk, there are many panoramic points, like this one, truly spectacular. You can also hear the sound of water in the distance. Another beautiful panoramic point that I found along the path. There are so many. This one, however, I think is the most beautiful I have seen so far. The view is incredible. The ravines are here, a stone's throw from us, a unique spectacle. Another spectacular panoramic point, incredible. Every corner offers a postcard view. Now, mountain friends, I think it is useless to continue walking, since along the trail there are many other panoramic points where you can stop to take pictures and admire the breathtaking landscapes. This hike can end here. Now I will go back along the trail to the parking lot. Peasant cuisine has always made extensive use of the qualities of this bread, for example by hollowing out the inside and filling it with products of the earth, such as wild chicory, white broad bean puree and cherry tomatoes. Orecchiette with tops. I hope you enjoyed the hike. Thank you for joining us on this adventure and watching the video to the end. Subscribe to the channel, cheers and see you next trip.